Hey guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Kyuujin, and today we're back with you for Vinland Saga, episode 23.
Last episode, Thorfinn fought Askeladd, but Askeladd was so done. He's like, Thorfinn acts like he has a chance and he doesn't plan ahead. He just rushes in and screams about his intentions. And he thinks he can win with a broken arm. And Askeladd was like, okay, you know what? He fought him without his sword and he dominated him. He would have killed him. Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that he's been using him all these years, Thorfinn would have been dead. And so he told him about that. And then he told him his story about how he played the long game back when he was a kid. And he pretended to be in his father's favor. He got close to him. He got him to lower his guard. Got friends with his half-brothers too. And then he killed him in his sleep. And had his brother be accused of this in his stead. And he also said something about how, yes, he despises Vikings and how they fight and why they fight. But in a way, he also doesn't exclude himself from that pool of people. Like, he also says, I am a Viking. Like, there's no way I can rule or anything. He became what he hated to achieve his goals. And he's not lying to himself about that. So Thorfinn had a hard time listening to this. And
a little bit of a breakdown, too.
He became, like, we started from the beginning, like, at his rage and all that ever since his father died, and we saw his development and what he became ever since, and dude, you became your enemy. There's no pretending otherwise, and now he's crying with that realization, I think. I'm just saying, but Leif is in town, you could go to him.
You need to talk to somebody, kid.
Yeah, at least stop. In any case, so this is where we are. Only 2 episodes left to this season, so things are gonna keep going up and explode. I'm very excited about this. Let's jump in this episode and see what they have in store for us. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
Alright, let's go.
It'd be funny though if after this Thorfinn pretended to be on Askeladd's side just suddenly.
I can see what you're doing.
Yeah. Miscalculation? Something's gonna go wrong? Yeah, you really took a beating. And that's the thing, you make reckless moves and you don't allow yourself time to heal. As intended.
It was our plan all along.
No, keep talking. What about Askeladd? Huh? Maybe you should listen more? Like, people would be saying, oh, the king doesn't want to support Canute, so might as well not support Canute. But then if you don't agree with the king, or if, I don't know, somehow you see something in Canute and stuff, maybe that's reason enough to turn on your king and help Canute. And, like, he's got strong allies.
Maybe not this one.
No, not this one. Passed out outside. Maybe he's just worried about Thorfinn. Everyone drops dead.
I'll be worried for my safety in a banquet with my father.
He's not worried. You're missing all the fun.
Are you seeing yourself in those slaves, Thorfinn?
You've been hallucinating your father. Don't start hallucinating Askeladd too.
Are you going mad, Thorfinn?
I'm really worried someone is gonna take him as an actual slave and bring him with them if he's not careful. Shit. He's not in any state for this. Leif? Someone? Or, I mean, yeah, Thorfinn, I guess. Protect yourself. Okay, you can still manage.
Thorfinn can always manage, but just not against Askeladd.
He was passing out left and right. I don't know.
正式な処罰はいいんですか。天下の護衛だとか。
He is.
全会議に出席されておる。うろついてる
He
わけ
is.
なかろ
And I think Canute is worried. Or at least wondering.
族長諸家集ってくれた。世の滑るところと相なった。あったればこそである。古きともトルケルとクヌーとも家具により我が元へと帰り来た。
How will you repay him?
たな、クヌート。
Big liar. Oh, the pretending. I hate you, bitch. Just waiting to see what's happening.
マーシアの統治を任せる。
Mercia.
この地を良き国にしようぞ。トルケルよ、息子を助けてやってく
Okay,
れ。
so he's not separating them.
よし。マーシア
Yeah, okay.
とも豊かな土地を
He's laying the rumors to rest.
噂に過ぎませんか。真実であればこそあるよりほか
He can't win now.
褒美を授ける。アイルランドにおいても存分に振るわれよう。かつて不遜なる選手苦渋をなめさせられた因縁の地であり勝てる
He got him.
ハムが対処しきれてねえ証拠だ。
But I don't know, it's called miscalculation.
主導権を取れる。
いい顔だな。今後は孫くじ引いてもらうぜ。
I'm a bit afraid.
顔を仕切るのは俺だ。俺ならやれる。
We missed something, you think?
I wonder, however,
王に対する恐れを知らぬ母が
is he getting rid of Askeladd?
話しておかねばならぬ。
He's the threat.
世は奴らに使わした。跳ねつけおった。脅かす目が育っておるなら摘み取らねばならぬ。上
No!
Oh, he knows.
No! No, 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 no! Oh, shit!
No, he knows it's gonna make him, yeah.
来たる春より進撃する諸君。
Not Will.
Yeah, Askeladd is gonna freak. Yeah. I can't help but think like the king knew and he's doing that. Askeladd is his enemy, he is the threat, so he needs to go after his home. He looked into things. He can't play the game if he wants to defend his country.
面会だ。
Is it Leif?
クヌートの手下か。追い返せ。
殿下のご使者のわけなかろう。船乗りで。
Oh, talk to him, buddy.
He's not letting you go.
トルフィン。
He needs a shoulder to cry on.
お前らしき男が連れて行かれたと知り合いの商人に聞いてな。慌てたぞ。
関係ね
Dude, stop. He cares.
11年辛い思いをしてきたか。お前の言う通りわしにはわからん。
Maybe you could tell him.
生きている限り心が安らぐことはない。十分じゃないというならそうなのだろう。だが昨日のように思い出すんじゃよ。パチパチと外れるいろり。
He's trying to bring back the memories.
トールズ、エルガ、ユルバ。
Then
そして
you...
お前の笑顔をな。ブラッタリーの沖で込められた話はしたな。食べ物はなくなり、
See if the kid he loves is still in there.
みんな死んだ。氷の上を歩き続けた。なぜだかわかるか。ほどすさんだ海であろうと、凍えた海だろうと。
So much stuff is coming back here. Like him, his story, Thorfinn, what he's going through, Thors when he left the war. Like there's always a next happy story after, right? There is the promise of Vinland.
海と戦っとるんだと同じように誇りをかけてな。
It's a beautiful parallel with his own story, yeah.
お前がいなくなった時、
And it's comparison to the beginning of the show
誇りにかけて誓った。
when he listened to the same story.
だからトルフィン、わしのためだ。
He won't give up.
どうあってもアイスランドへ連れて帰る。トールズに対するけじめだ。
Thank you. See, he also has his own thing to handle with Thors.
風に見えるがな。一瞬のことです。
He had the
ウェー
reaction.
ルズと聞いて変えました。あやつめの弱みにつながる何か
Yep.
があるやもしれない
Just Wells.
Everything Wales
Just
related.
Wells.
くださいませ。ああ、
Again, Askeladd needs to play the long game. What is he gonna do? Where is he gonna put himself?
それ以上でかくなるつもりかよ。まったく。
It's all about will he make a mistake?
そう。 どういうことだスベモおめえ
It's a game!
ウェールズのつながりを知ってる
He's looking for one.
黒木に話したことはね全軍を動員するなんてことはありえないやっぱり偶然か
I don't know.
いや
You are his biggest ally. Maybe you'll take the chance. His biggest threat,
火
sorry.
の海になっちまってことだくそ
He's so split!
力何ができる翻すいやトルケルの兵500だけだ戦力差がありすぎる
Oh my
う
god.
ちを引き込むにもね
Use that big brain of yours, man.
イングランドの連中をまた焚きつくれっていうのはどうか結局はウェールズが主戦場になる
It's not working. His brain is just.
He's about to break.
He's fighting against the sea, sort
なんか
of.
狙いに来るかもしれん
There's no way
It's
out.
all inside though. Outside is the calm face.
今さら
遥かな西
Vinland.
果実が実りが波打つ新天地
Kind of like you can't go back because back is filled with bad memories, but there's always the promise of the future. Something better.
ヴィンランドだトルフィンヴィンランドだ少し落ち着いたらかの地を目指そう
The light of hope, man.
終わっていたじゃないか来たがっていたとアイスランドに来たんだ生きていれば
That's where he'd be.
かの地を目指したに違いない
How about you honor his memory by following his dream and doing what he would have wanted?
誰もが平和に暮らせるで温かな地そんな国を作ろう
I love how they're bringing back everything they said in the first episode. From the story to Vinland.
Like you said, it's a beacon of
ヴ
hope.
ィンランドならきっと
It's hope.
Grab it. Thorfinn.
Lack of suffering. Just light is right there, dude. Go for it.
Shows it.
ウェールズっていやさ俺に追われてあそこに逃げ込んだじゃんよどういうからくりだったんだ伝人のお前に味方したんだおふくろの墓があの地は
It's his home.
俺の故郷俺の国だ民は誇り高い愛した国だお気の毒様だな
Sorry to hear that your home's gonna be in fire, burnt to ashes in spring.
クヌート殿下の重視アシェラッド殿保全に進まれよ
Give me money.
たく
Keep playing the game. Keep playing the game. Don't show emotions.
They are fierce competitors, fierce fighters in this. Politically and just
Fierce players.
yeah.
ってやつはツケがないのかね
Cause it's drama. Next episode. Gosh damn. My god, these last 3 episodes have been really, really, really good. Well, last 4 actually, because the one before was
Thank
also
you,
great.
Leif, for being there.
Yeah. Too much is happening.
But seriously, I love that you brought up the fact that what Leif told Thorfinn, like the promise of Vinland, a land with peace, with no slave, no hardship, basically,
It's-
is
yeah.
a beacon of hope. It's the light in this darkness of his life right now.
When you think about it, you can actually compare it to heaven on earth, which is interesting because Canute, his whole fight currently is because he's saying like, oh yes, there's the promise of heaven, but you don't get heaven until you die.
Yeah.
Because we've been cast out of heaven. So he's trying to create his heaven on earth. But then you paint Vinland as this heaven on earth, this promise of a bright future where no suffering, no pain, no fights, no nothing anymore. It's just peace and quiet and life. And if you forget about that, if you think only of your struggles on earth and the only solution to that is death and stuff, you would not have any hope. You would not have anything happy to look forward to. So to bring back Vinland and to give that to Thorfinn, it's kind of like saying, like, dude, you're not forced to spend the rest of your life like this, like suffering, going through hell, because you believe that this is all your life is about. Like, there is still something you can achieve. And I believe that he's doing that, like he's going after Askeladd for his own benefit, but he's painting that as a way to repay his father. Like he honors his father by avenging him. But Thors would have wanted everything but that. right? He keeps having dreams of him, and he sees his ghosts and stuff, talking about Vinland, telling him that that's not what he wants and stuff. But he keeps focusing on that when he should be focusing on what his father would have wanted to do or wanted him to do. His actual dream was to go to Vinland. Like, he wanted to bring his family there where they could live in peace. So Thorfinn lives in hell, focuses on his battle with Askeladd, his need for revenge, thinking he's doing that like for his dad when we know he's doing that for himself. But if he truly wanted to honor Thors, he would go back to his mom and sister, and they would go to Vinland. Just like, and I mean, you can compare that also like to Askeladd. Askeladd, his home is Wales, but can we say Wales is his utopia? Like, it's a place where like the past is basically full of bad memories and nightmares and
I wouldn't say that Wales is his own utopia, because when
maybe, but maybe he wants it to be.
He wants it to be a place of
in a
happiness
state
and peace.
in the state that it is currently. Like, his Vinland is basically the land that his mother would have talked to him about, where Artorius left, where Arthur is, and he's healing himself, and eventually he'll come back. Like, this is the land that I, thought was his Vinland, right? His utopia, but he got nothing from it. So instead, he's trying to do just like Canute, create his own heaven on earth by freeing Wales, by stopping the conflict and just making sure that no one will ever go towards that. Because currently Wales is at risk of being overtaken. Like, there's a war coming now. Like, it's even worse. But on top of that, it's also the reminder of his mother and how that ended up. The fact that they never got liberated, the fact that they never got saved. So just like home for Thorfinn, Iceland, if he goes back there without killing Askeladd, it's kind of a reminder of his failures, right? A reminder that none of this is great, and you can't just, like Askeladd, he can't just escape to Wales and hope to live his life in peace. Like, there's too many bad memories tied to this, tied to his mom, and he never got his absolution. He never got his savior to come back and save them. So he's trying to create this peaceful world by saving Wales. Canute is trying to create his own heaven because of the world that he knows that the world that we know right now is too shitty and stuff, and he's trying to get rid of those that stop him from getting to his heaven, and he's trying to make it work for everyone. But Thorfinn could do the same technically. Like, Vinland would be his escape. That's his heaven on earth if he only let go of everything else, like Askeladd, the memories of how his father died, and he looked to the future towards where Thors wanted to go. All three of them are trying to, or should be trying to, create this heavenly place where there's no suffering. So yeah, the bringing back Vinland and bringing back everything, we got to see, by the way, the contrast between young Thorfinn listening to those stories back in the day, and now listening to those stories now. But having gone through so much suffering, it's like there's no more idolization. There's no more stars in his eyes when he hears about those stories, because he's been through hell, and there's nothing great about hearing about struggles. The only thing that he could be interested in is the promise of Vinland, which, because he's never achieved it, he's never got there. But everything else, he suffered. So those stories no longer inspire greatness in him. It's lies. Like, you tell someone it's great to be a warrior when in fact it's not.
I do love the fact that Leif compared being a sailor and just braving the sea as a warrior, braving battles and enemies and generals. And it's the fact that Leif went through so much in his youth, basically, when he got caught in the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he lost his ship, he lost his crew, his friends, he almost died, but he survived, and he didn't let that fact
He didn't give up.
prevent him to just go back at sea, you know?
Well, yeah, but more than that, I feel like it's the story of someone who felt that he was in a situation where there was no surviving this, there was no winning this, yet he kept going, he never gave up, and he found Vinland. He found the absolution, he found the brighter future, and now he's telling that tale. And everyone else is kind of in a similar situation. They are all at sea, currently suffering, but they need someone to remind them that you got to keep fighting, you got to keep pushing, because there is the promise of Vinland. Kind of like Askeladd, currently, he's been... okay, Sweyn has done a big move. I don't know how he heard about Askeladd being from Wales, maybe, but he's looking for signs that he's right. So someone told him something about Askeladd. I don't know who. Could be really bad. Could be a betrayal in the making. I don't know, but it was still a big secret. So who would have known?
Unless he's just using rumors to try to have a reaction out of him.
But he was looking for a sign. So it's like he was told that there was a connection between. Maybe it's tales that Askeladd went to Wales to escape Thorkel, and he's saying like, oh, so there must be something in Wales, and now by saying he's gonna, attack Wales, he was expecting him to crumble or do something to give him a reason, maybe to call him traitor. He's his biggest threat because he's the one with the plans. So if Askeladd shows that he's a part of the enemy, or shows that there's a reason to kill him or something, and he gets to get rid of him, Canute will be vulnerable. So he's pushing Askeladd, and Askeladd is trying to come up with a plan, because either he betrays himself and shows that he's on Wales' side and then loses his advantage, or he allows Wales
being burned to the ground.
Yeah, so it's a really tough situation, and we saw it when he was trying to find a way out. He was stuck in his own sea. We saw the sea behind him. He is currently in a position where you don't see a way out. You don't see a bright future, a second day. Like you're stuck. But if we compare that to the story of Leif, you just gotta push through, keep fighting, and eventually you'll get the promise of Vinland, right? Hopefully. It's a story, it's drama, so it has to happen. But yeah, I'm glad Leif is here. I don't know if he's gonna leave. I feel like if I was Leif and I know that Thorfinn is not coming home, I'd stick around at least long enough to convince him. He's really trying to bring back like emotions and feelings of him as a kid. But that's why I'm saying when he thinks about home, all he thinks about are the bad emotions, what he lost.
You know what? I think that after his discussion with Askeladd, Thorfinn kind of saw that he was right, and in his own way he was too a slave. I mean that's what I got for the man when you look at those children being led on by those men.
Led on, yeah.
Led on, yes.
But yes, and I mean, he doesn't really know how to handle the situation. Like, he still wants to stick around, but then again, to stick around hurts, but to leave and go back home would mean giving up on what he's been fighting for the last 11 years. And that's what I'm saying. Going back home means facing his family, knowing Askeladd is still alive, thinking he has not done good for his father, and just it's the reminder that he lost Thors and that there's no bright future. So that's why talking to him about the past is not a good idea. You need to talk to him about the future.
But would you believe that if he went home just right now without killing Askeladd, that all of his struggles would have been for nothing in a way?
Personally, I'd rather he gives up on this crazy crusade of his and he goes back to his family. But that would not help him deal with the situation. He has a lot of work to do on himself before he can go back home. But we're currently doing some of the work. So, but what a crazy episode. Recently, honestly, this show has been getting so good. It's been good, like, since the beginning.
There's so much great imagery also, right?
Visually, it's stunning. But ever since the episode where Canute saw his father, like, when everything was painted red and stuff, like, everything has been, like, top, like, 10 out of 10 amazing. So I am so excited about the finale. And I've heard that the finale is considered the greatest episode. So, like, yeah. We'll see this next episode.
So, yeah, next time's gonna be the finale for the first season.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the finale right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
If not, it's gonna be out on YouTube next week. So, gonna see you then, guys.
Bye.